right. It's a CapmLew podcast. We're about to fire up the podcast machine through the podcast bean portal. That's you're going to be able to catch the full CapmLew podcast on Apple, Google. You also got the Podbean.
Yes.
And also you got the coming soon Spotify.
Yes.
So you got that going on. So we're gonna start to fire the. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do the. Here we go. All right. Welcome to the CapmLew podcast. For what it's worth, I'm CapmLew, and we've also got my co-captain Luke.
It's I.
And we're here up in the upper sanctum.
Yep.
In the place to be. And we don't have a topic prearranged. That's one of the things that we like. But today I had a nice experience. I'd love to guess out some positivities about. I had a cool experience or two this week. I'll fill you in on more next week. But for today, I've had a Tik-Tok running, and I found that my attitude toward the social media mechanisms that exist is different. I spent time discovering what content making can be. All right, in the early days of Facebook, 2008, things really mattered.
Yeah.
All right. And so what I found was that as I was able to platform ideas on Facebook in a way that I felt was really meaningful, was able to say things on Facebook that had, it had impact. And so there have always been trolls. And when I would say the things I would say, which just there it is again.
Merit.
By dint of, welcome to the Facebook Live, Eric Sanders and Sam Cook. Good to see you guys on there. Thanks for joining us, by the way.
Truly.
Yeah. That's one of the things about the podcast is we're not interested in streaming live on Twitch and things like that, but we really appreciate our Facebook Live audience. Gives us a visual to work with, and also we love your comments and questions. You can always send questions to us or comments to us at questions, CapmLewQuestions@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can always send us your comments or questions there. No one has. That's
Fine.
A happy day. The day that somebody sends a substantive, Jay Sloan has joined us. Thanks, Jay. A substantive comment or question on there, that will be a happy day for us. We'll run that into the ground. Anyways, I learned a long time ago that you can do things on, you could do things on Facebook that made a big impact.
Yeah.
In a way, that has waned.
I guess just from merit of the amount of people using it, yeah.
And the degree to which people pay attention to it, the way that people pay attention to social media, it's people are oversaturated. They just can't even with all this input. Brian Johnson and John Ryan Zander, thanks for joining us tonight.
Truly.
And so I learned during those days that when I would share something that was quite controversial, and get the people would start trolling.
Yeah.
Trolling has been with us from day one.
Yes.
People would start trolling. I liked it because I would just answer their trolling with exactly what I was. And the key was that before I said something, I thought it through, and I ran it through a personal filter of, do I really mean that?
Yeah.
Am I willing? If I say this thing, am I willing to take the consequences of this thing I'm saying? So I didn't say a whole lot of things that I mean.
Sure.
And a fairly narrow bandwidth
Yeah.
of things I would speak to. I would speak to inclusivity in skateboarding. I would think about, that was really massive for me, was inclusivity in skateboarding. And we got some funny comments going. We appreciate you guys. Thanks, guys. And I always, the only point at which trolling was problematic for me during those times was when it was, I will find you through your posting and I will run you off the road. Yeah. You're going to be road pizza. You're going to die. Like that. Right. That sort of thing. And then when I began to see violence happening when we would show up places, because I had been really largely, I'd been repping quality. I'd been repping inclusivity. I'd been repping, and I'm not talking about like crazy inclusivity. Right. Just as Luke, as you put it so well, everybody only. Everybody only. Skateboarding is a time of playing with real. It's supposed to be meaningless and fun. Yeah. It's not supposed to be trying out for the varsity team. It's not supposed to be your SATs. In my opinion, that's not what skateboarding was made for. Sure. It's 8 bearings, 2 axle assemblies. We call them trucks. It's 8 pieces of bolts to hold the trucks on it. 1 sheet of grip tape, 7 plies, necessary glue and shaping, and you should just be rolling and having fun. It's a child's toy. Shouldn't be all this drama. And I'm talking about the era during which, your local skate shop was saying, like, if you ever quit skateboarding, don't come back, because a lot of old men were coming back. So I got this going on, and I took off 3 full years from 2019 to 2022 to take what I had learned from being involved with social media, posting, and I like how Eric Sanders is jumping in. He's talking about pivot cups and bushings. Yes. And pretty soon we can talk about kingpins, because I'm a sucker for an inverted kingpin. Yeah, come on. All right, but we digress. Right? And in 2022, I knew in 2018, 17, 16 that the only way forward was going to be podcasting and content creation. I had tried to platform the ideas I cared about by embodying them in a brand. We talked about this last time. Yes. And I did. I embodied my values in a brand. Yeah. It was called Fickle Skateboards, and I built presses and pressed out up to 150 boards a month of wood that I am not ashamed of. Sure. I would like to say that the degree of failure in customer service and in quality was very low. It's not non-existent, but it was very low. And I really saw that it could be done. I proved to myself that it could be done. And then I started the Makers Movement Facebook page with Eric Sanders, who is right here with us. Eric actually technically started it with me helping him. It got trolled and sabotaged, and I restarted it. Eric, oh my goodness, they burnt you to a crisp. No wonder they call you toast. That was intense, and it was also mainstream driven. It was really an interesting time. So the use of social media now, it's gone completely steroidal. Look at that. Look at that. Why? It stopped. It stopped because I turned off. Oh. Yeah. There we go.
So we figured it out.
There we go. Yes. We figured it out. Yes. All right. Okay. So it's gone completely steroidal now because you got TikTok, short form media. Yeah. And so accessible. Everyone's on it. Everyone's got it. So the amount of wash is nice. Yes. Because they can't troll us all. They can't kill us all. And now also the stakes are a little bit lower because I don't know, you find your people. Yeah. maybe I don't think that you could cause. Well, I can't cause as big a splash as I used to because there are thousands of people posting the same ideas that I used to post that were, what do you call it?
Controversial.
Yeah, like, so we've got a TikTok for CapmLew. We've got one for CapmLew podcast.
We don't have that yet.
Oh, Instagram?
We have an Instagram.
So just use the CapmLew. Okay,
Yeah,
we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out.
We have a CapmLew podcast Instagram,
That's
and we
right.
have a CapmLew podcast YouTube as well, where
Yes.
video episodes, the lost episodes that we had to take off when we were transitioning to Spotify, they're there, and they're excellent. They're actually kind of cool.
It was rough.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to smooth it out.
No, it was nice.
And we're not going to obsess about it or even mess with talking about it.
Come on, man.
We're just going to keep going.
I'm interested though because you're talking about the changing world of media.
Well, a neat thing happened today.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yesterday, I got hit up
Go ahead.
by a guy
Yeah.
on TikTok whose videos I really like. He could live in California. I wouldn't have known when I started, but it's this older guy.
Mm-hmm.
And TikTok's been feeding me these older guys.
Sure.
Or not even older. Like there are even people who are younger who are like learning how to ride up a transition and back down again. Like just
That's
basic learning, And the algorithm is feeding me like, and I'm so inspired by these people, and it makes me happy to see people learning how to ride skateboards. I would probably like this with motorcycling too. I probably would like to see people who are blowing it trying to do a top end rebuild and having to go repurchase everything and do it again and figure it out. They just have to get the cylinders machined and have to buy a new gasket set and new rings,
Is it a thumb?
You got to do this. You got to unscrew it. Yeah. You got,
It's fine. It's
not that technical. A little coffee.
Thank you.
So you want some?
Yeah.
All right, good. There you go.
I'm a man of culture.
So this guy hit me up. And he's like, hey, I'm going to be at XYZ Park tomorrow. And I was like, dude, I'm going to be there too then.
Sick.
So, he said 10 o'clock. So at 11 o'clock, I rolled up after texting him at 10 o'clock that I'm going to be there at like 11. Everything's fine. And we had the nicest session. Nicest session together. Just carving. Just doing the parts that I told him, I said, it takes me back 30 no, it's not. Let's see, I'm 50. Yeah, 35. 37.
My gosh.
It's going on 38 years.
Jeez.
Takes me back like 37 years to when, I was only going 5 or 10 miles an hour, but I felt like I was going, I was bombing hills from the start. I was death wobbling. I had no skin on my palms. One of my friends' moms put vitamin E on my palms, and I was really bummed out because it did not help, man. Vitamin E is not great for but I had gravel in my palms like for an entire summer. It was muscle level. I should have got skin grass, man. And I learned to turn so I could kill the speed wobbles, and I learned to tic-tac uphill. It brought me back to that so much.
That's
it
sick,
really
dude.
did. And so this guy shared a session with me. He goes by Grampy on TikTok, and he, man, it was just so healthy. We just had this wonderful session, and I pulled a groin muscle.
Oh, dude.
And it was fine because all we were doing was carving. I tried to throw a 360 no comply, and it's actually the hip flexor.
Yeah.
The head of the hip flexor, I strained it. And I'm pushing my thumbs into it right now. It's the only way I can lift my knee up. I'm like literally grabbing my leg and lifting my leg up to just go from the gas to the brake. But we just had this sick, and it was just two older guys who are way past prime and definitely not going anywhere fast, but not going nowhere. Like this was just super, just good ground for people to be human together, and man, it was just good. And he's part of a thing called Geezer League.
Geezer League.
These guys from out east of Cincinnati, out in the
Belford,
like Batavia, like out there toward Peebles. These
Okay.
guys out there,
Yeah.
Mount Orab, or I forgot what town they're in.
Out.
But they're out there, and they're like skating in their garages, and just they've got a metal park
Okay.
where they are,
Oh yeah.
and they're just making it happen for each other out
Dude,
there, and
that's
being
sick.
encouraging to each other.
That's
and the
awesome.
guy I was skating with had only been skating for 1 year. Steve.
What?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
skating for 1 year.
He was killing
He's
it.
47.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we were talking about how to turn front side, and
Oh yeah.
we were talking like elbow, shoulder, hip, knee,
Yes.
feet, then board. You know,
Yeah.
we were talking about it, but we weren't training.
Yeah.
We weren't making rules. There were
Right.
no rules. There was
Yes.
nothing. And I was following him on lines.
Yeah.
He had a great sense for cutting lines.
That's
I mean,
sick.
it was super sick. The park we were at, Florence Outdoor, has lots of good banks, wedges, and quarter pipes in it. We just farted around. And I thought, you know, this is the best that social media can be. And I don't know, maybe it gets better, but there's a group I'm part of that I'm a real light touch on social media groups. Well, so Geezer League is sick. There should be thousands. There are thousands of these
Yeah, maybe
because
there are,
of the
yeah.
social media. These guys, and they post what they're doing, and it's such a happy thing. And I was telling him, I'm like, you know, the thing is, man, like your soul and your heart has to be separate from the social media. I told him, when I post a thing on social media, like on my TikTok or on my Instagram or on YouTube and stuff, it's like putting a sacrifice on the altar. You know, you make the thing, you bleed it, shake it out, put it up there, set it on fire, smoke rises, moving on. You know, it's gone. It's dead to me. People want to come on there and troll me and stuff like that. Well, now that with you here,
Yeah.
it's funnier. It's really fun with Luke.
Dude, yeah, it's way better to
It
be
is.
two together.
It
for
is.
Sure.
It's really
Yeah.
it's really fun with
Yes,
you here.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
But I'm really I was really pleased. That was a fun thing to do today. Like just that, and these guys are just in it for the play,
Yeah.
the good times. I wish that for a lot of people. There's that other edge where people get super caught up in the image and all that stuff.
Yeah, totally.
I just feel like the odds are really low of that happening with low talent soldier skateboarders, because we're low talent soldier skateboarders. We're just not going to be amazing. And that is amazing.
Yes. Literally. It is interesting that social media has hit this kind of saturation point where the social dynamics are not strong enough, you know, like the cool guy culture is not big enough to
No longer.
net all of it, you know what I mean? Like, they can't kill us all, so you have this overflow of Instagram accounts and TikTok accounts that are really just showing off the best parts of skateboarding, because there's so much of it.
To us, in
Yeah.
our opinion.
It's awesome, yeah.
In our humble opinions, the best part of skateboarding is the
Yeah.
stuff that kids who are little,
Yeah.
like who play with them, do.
Yes.
Or maybe bulldogs. So it looks like the bulldogs understand it.
Yes.
And there's
Somehow.
some non-bulldogs that are really good on
For
skateboards
some
too.
reason, the Bulldogs just get it, dude.
I love that. My dog doesn't.
Oh, come on, man.
My dog also can't pull a blanket onto himself.
Well,
He has to be tucked in. And he's almost a hairless dog, and he's always cold until he's hot, and
Yes.
then he's dying.
right.
He almost died one time when we went to the parade.
Yeah.
We went to a parade in 90s weather, and I walked down probably 10 blocks to the parade.
It's not even that far.
By the time we got down 5 blocks or so,
Yeah.
he was dying in front of Junker's Tavern.
Yeah, he was like,
He was dying. He was
It's like
dying. It
2
was over,
blocks,
dude.
dude.
It was over. He just laid down. He's like, it's fine. I'll die.
You just leave
And
me.
he was dying of heat stroke.
Yes.
And not stroke. He was
Yeah.
dying of had exhaustion, but he was going to kick into stroke because dogs have trouble with that.
Yeah.
And
totally.
I sent someone to the house, and I said, come back with a car
Yeah, and water.
and some ice.
Yes.
You know, and we did. They came back with a car, and we packed him in and got some ice on him,
Oh my
and just
gosh,
took him
dude.
home, and we got him cooled off. He was young young too. He was only like 2 years old.
He's like constantly vacillating between edges of death at all times.
Oh my gosh, that's my dog. He's always dying. He's old now. He's gonna turn 13 in June,
Dude,
and he's acting it too. He's
breaking my heart.
He's acting like he's real tired now.
Boo.
Yeah, it's a boo.
Yeah, that's the
You
worst.
know, I'm just gonna do it again.
Yeah, you best get
I'm
one.
just gonna
Dude,
get
you gotta
another
overlap.
rescue dog again, man.
Overlap them,
Just
dude.
gonna do. I'm not gonna overlap.
You're not gonna overlap?
I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna overlap.
That's a
my
bold
dogs.
move, Cotton.
I'm pretty sure because I can't bring in a new dog right now. We've just got too many moving parts with the stuff that's going on.
Right.
I can bring in one new dog, but bringing in a new dog with my older dog who's not great with dogs, it's not going to just happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so really good experience today. Social media did the best thing that it could ever do. It brought 2 people together, 3 people together who are, you know, super good.
It's also interesting to me that your social media journey started out sharing opinions, then the trolls come in, and a lot of the hecticness that happened, you know, 2016, 2015 was centered around social media. And it's funny because your decision, you stepped away and then you just doubled down. Like doing a podcast is way more social media oriented.
That's because what I saw early on in skateboarding that was really important was in 2000, 2001, 2002, there was an idea present in the skateboarding culture that you could keep out the kooks. And it stunned me. Everywhere I ran into it, which was everywhere I went, you had a lot of keep out the kooks. And I was already a little bit old as a skateboarder back then.
Right.
And like, they'd roll up to a 9-foot vert ramp that I used to go to all the time.
Ugh.
And I would just do like lazy fronts, like nice front side grinds on it until I was, you know, and roll out roll-ins, you know, just bombing this thing, having a great time.
Yes, of course. Come on.
You know?
Right.
I'm just checking to make sure we got power on this. We do.
Yeah, okay, we got it.
You know, and just having a great time on roll out, roll in, front side, back side, 50-50 stalls, Smith grinds, you know, just very low level and never ambitious to go beyond that.
Sure.
And that's skateboarding to me. I always thought like, well, you skate till you're happy and then just stay there. And and you'll learn other things. You'll do other things if you get the chance to just skate consistently.
Yeah.
It grows, but not everybody is gifted. Not everybody has access.
Sure.
And not everybody has access at the critical points in their life when that kind of access really builds those skills. If you're young and you have access to multiple parks, multiple vert ramps, and you've got the support of your family to go and be there every day and just really develop those things, you'll have a skill base that's insane. Or if you don't have their support and you do it anyway, heroically asserting your own journey,
right?
You know, that's respectable. I get it. But so back then, social media, like I'd watch from 2000, 2001, 2002 when the Dogtown movie came out and a lot of older guys started coming back. I was an older guy who hadn't quit. And I was watching older guys coming back and getting this, like, if you ever quit, never come back. Like legit, like from the like sponsored companies, you know, Thrasher. I mean, you can go in back episodes of Thrasher magazine, which is hailed as used to be hailed as the Bible of skateboarding.
Jeez.
And you could read editorial commentary about like dedication level and legitimacy and all this stuff.
Right.
And when I was skating, I moved to Cincinnati in 2000. I went to the skate shop and I was like, "Hey, you got any 169s?" And they were like, "Man,
no,
you don't want those. Nobody skates those." And I thought, well, if nobody skates them, I want them even more. I'm a skateboarder. Like, I hate doing normal stuff.
Right.
You know, make it 215s then,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
you talked me into it.
And with that energy in that skate shop, it was a seminal introduction for me into Midwestern skateboarding in 2000.
Yeah.
They were distinctly unenthusiastic about the presence of someone who had that kind of like vibe, because I was like, they were like, "You don't want those," and I'm like, "Well, actually, no, I know what I want. You know, like I totally want those. I'm picking up. You don't have them, you know." And then I was like, "Well, you guys should get some 169s because there's some older skateboarders that want," and they just were so jaded, man. It was like how can you like be like so bummed and bumming, you know? But they were, and they were committed.
Yeah.
And it proceeded to 2005. It proceeded into 2008.
Yeah.
When I started working my own brand, I'd worked for some, you know, for another brand and for a skate park building company.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I was like, man, like not a very, you know. So when social media, I think it was like 2008 when I started my Facebook.
Yeah, which is crazy, right?
And I started posting stuff like, hey, you know, kids and big kids, if you own a shop or you were a sponsored skateboarder, a pro, an AM, like that, and you come out and you take a verbal dump on someone who's fat,
right?
Call them fat ass, you know, and you do that sort of thing. You should hand in your card. Like I did that. That was the beginning of the whole thing. And what I saw after that convinced me that you got to do even more.
Right, double down.
And that's why I wound up making a brand for Kooks.
Yeah.
You know, and making quality and authenticity and customer service and that relationship between your board maker and you, and all that stuff was a way, you know, like I'm doing what we did last episode.
No, I like it.
But like in the social media sphere,
no, it's hot.
I had a filmer for Habitat on there, like telling lies and like, we know you're just a cult leader and that you embezzle money.
Yes.
And like they could say anything they wanted to.
Yeah.
And I just kept going, you know, really, let's go back to talking about the kooks and let's keep talking about the fat kid, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like it's all about you're already flip tricking into handrails. You're good.
Right.
You know? Let those of us who want to make a PSA like that make the PSA without you guys coming and identifying yourselves to your own hurt. You know, like
right.
like wise up, bro. You know, like
totally.
But I would just double down, stay on message, double down, stay on message, and keep going. And so from 2008 till about 2012, I could tell it was getting to where, and I wrote some articles.
Yes.
I wrote on pushing Mongo.
Yes.
Where I was like, Mongo is a litmus test to see if you are like a conformity crony or if you're really a free-thinking skateboarder, you know?
Dude, that's sick.
I straight up lit the world on fire with I didn't. But it was a good article, and it's gone now. It got scrubbed.
Come on, man.
It's fine. I can rewrite it right now.
I started out pushing Mongo. I can still do it pretty well. We should like do a test on a skate trip where you just push Mongo the entire time and just see what the response is. It might be nothing because people are over it because skateboarding is dead.
We had a big talk about pushing Mongo today with Grampy out there, and his TikTok is like skate with Grampy, I think, and it's got underscores.
Yep, skate with Grampy. That's it. Yeah.
At skate underscore with underscore Grampy.
Yes.
Grampy. We had to talk about it because he couldn't imagine somebody crapping on people for pushing Mongo because he's been skating for a year.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
At 47.
Yeah.
He's been skating for a year at 47, and he just couldn't imagine someone wasting their time caring about something so stupid.
Yeah.
You know, when if you give a kid 5 or 6 years pushing Mongo, they just get better.
That's fine.
Weren't we skating the other day? Wasn't there a young man?
Yeah, he was ripping pushing Mongo.
He was doing it all his way.
Yeah.
He had strength.
Yeah.
And he had this frantic energy in everything he did.
Yes.
He was jamming every single thing he did.
He meant it.
He meant it.
Yeah.
Every single thing he did. He was mobbing, pushing Mongo, crushing tricks that were, he did tricks that were outside the norm.
Yeah.
And he was on a shaped board.
Yeah.
And it was lovely.
It was nice.
Yeah, I love that crap.
Yeah,
I love when I see someone who stuck with it. And it turns out he knew me when he was a kid. He had actually bought a toothbrush shark board off me. That's early.
Dude, that's super early.
Yeah, that's super early. He said, you hand delivered it to my house, but you dropped it at the door and then you were gone. And I'm like, yeah. And I had multiple deliveries that day, and I was like bebopping around.
Yes.
And those are good days, but now it's about the media. It's about talking. We don't care. We would love for what we do to grow and become a big deal.
Yeah.
But it really, we're still doing it. You know, we need to do this.
Yeah.
This needs to be out there. So if Tony Hawk and Jason Ellis can do their podcast, we can do ours.
Yeah, come on now.
And theirs is okay. I listened to Hawk versus Wolf, and
Hawk versus Wolf.
it's called Hawk versus Wolf.
That's kind of a sick name.
It is.
No
That's
idea.
fine.
Yeah, I like it. Hawk versus Wolf.
Yeah,
Because of names.
It's fine. Did you listen to that podcast I sent you?
Dude, I listened to like the first 20 minutes and I was dying, dude.
Oh
Dude,
my gosh.
What do you call her? Duneberg. Duneberg.
We'll talk about that podcast off the air. That was so funny.
It was so good.
So, anyways, it was a good day. It was a really enjoyable time. Skate with Grampy was a great host to a great session. And looking forward to skating with the Geezer League.
Yeah.
I love that people start their own stuff.
I know. They skate over there next. That metal park is like next to that nuclear power plant or whatever on
Like
50.
Warsaw?
Yeah, Warsaw.
Is
It's in
that it?
Warsaw. Yeah, dude.
Is that where it
Is
is?
that their local?
I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know if
those
it's in Warsaw.
Poor bastards.
That Warsaw Park have a half pipe at it?
Dude. If it
Look,
does, it's
I'm a little bit of a
beautiful.
sucker for a 3 or 4 foot
half pipe.
metal half pipe.
Yeah, they're nice.
So
They're
you
quick.
know it'll be there.
Yeah.
Ramp Tech or whatever, you know. I'm a little bit into those. I don't mind the clankety clank sound that they make.
No.
I love a mini ramp. OSG old skate geezer.
OSG old skate geezer. I love it.
So yeah, it was from 2008 until 2012. It was just like a vibrant repartee. 2012, 2013, the violence began.
Yeah.
And I think the violence began, my opinion, because self-publishing and then gaining like saying words that have influence and then seeing the uncontrollable change that was happening.
Right.
Not because of my words, but because really of YouTube and Instagram and now TikTok.
Yeah.
Like a person who has a certain way of skating is going to have people that love what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they also, Grampy was telling me about, he has another old man friend who started to get people coming on their social media, their TikTok,
Yeah.
and just hating.
Wow.
Like, quit, man. Just quit.
Holy
you know, like that.
crap,
So it
yeah.
still
Dude.
goes on.
Yes.
And we had to talk about that because I was like, another thing about these social media, like how I talk about it's like an offering that you just burn it on the altar and it's gone and you sort of turn your back on it because it's
Yeah.
no longer real when you post it.
Yeah.
You know, the world's going to do with it what they will.
Right.
Our social media, the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube, they exist for people to discover our possibly crappy, it's your opinion.
Right.
You know, it's up to you. This podcast is a fit for someone.
Yeah.
And somebody digs it.
Yeah.
And we'll find those people.
Yeah.
And we're not mad at you if you don't like it. We really aren't.
No, it's fine.
It doesn't bother us.
I mean,
because,
you have poor taste, but
because because the people who want to enjoy this kind of discussion are out there.
Yeah.
And but if you so all of the media that we put up of me doing doing frontside grinds,
Yes.
and that's all I'll be doing. And
Yeah.
Luke will be doing, he used to be able to kickflip, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
like,
right.
we're
yes.
going to be doing that.
Yeah, right.
Because, so that's our purpose in it,
Yeah.
is to just fish. But if our purpose in it was to get affirmation,
Oofta. Dark hole.
yeah.
Pull up,
Like,
Cap.
if we were looking for people to approve of us for... Luke, you and I are not good skateboarders.
That's fine.
And I don't mean that we're not good skateboarders. I mean that in this world where dear ones like Nigel Houston,
Oh,
now that's a person who is truly skilled at skateboarding.
yes.
A true master of the art.
Yes. Right.
That's just a fact.
Right.
With respect
Yes.
for the effort and all that goes into it.
Absolutely.
It's not us.
No.
We don't even want that.
No. I mean, dude, there was a point. I remember there being like maybe a 6-month period where I think it was when I was living in Colorado and I was pretty good. I was doing
Killing it.
yeah, like
You
really
were
I was
ripping.
yeah, like really starting to really find my groove and
Because you've got gift.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
good balance and stuff, and I was like thinking about the black hole that it would be to like actually care about this and really work to really become really excellent, and I was like, no, not worth it. Like
What does it even take right now to be impressive at skateboarding?
you have to be so incredibly talented. I mean, there's 10-year-olds doing like 900s. You know what I mean? Like
It is amazing.
Well, either that or you have to be super unique. You have to bring something to the table that a lot of people are not, and it's
hard to be broadly appealing if you're
Yes.
super unique.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And to be broadly appealing, you have to be doing stuff that it takes an amount of effort and amount of dedication that I realize like this. This isn't worth it to me. You know what I mean?
Opportunity. Let's do a highlight.
Yeah.
I want to speak well of someone's skateboarding.
Oh, let's do it.
It's Jimmy Wilkins.
Oh my God. Don't stop. I can't. I'll single tear, dude. That guy has got skill. It's
Jimmy Wilkins.
unreasonable.
Jimmy Wilkins is one of those skateboarders who's broadly appealing because of just the sheer,
Yes.
not just skill, but
The style. Oh my gosh, dude. He's like
Gracious me.
he is literally 15 feet above the lip of a 14-foot half pipe.
And he's at home.
Just at home. Yeah,
That's
he like
awesome.
literally like has enough time to like make a sandwich, call his mom, and then he bashes he goes to
Yes.
disaster and then comes in so quick you don't even know if he hit or not.
Clipping in so hard, yet so lightly.
Yes, elegant.
He's not clipping
Yes,
in so
dude.
his board breaks.
Yes.
He would
No,
break a board
literally.
if he was heavy-footed, but
Literally,
he has
yes.
got... So there you go. I
Dude.
really
Oh.
enjoyed... This was our commentary on
Yes.
Jimmy Wilkins.
The
I mean,
guy.
it's just amazing skateboarding.
Yes.
And I don't want to do that.
No.
I just want to scratch my trucks on a 3-foot half pipe
I know.
and roll out, roll in, and I hold a manual every time. Roll out with a manual, and then set it down before I come in. You know? And could I hold that manual all the way? Yes,
Sure.
I can.
Yeah.
Will I? No, I
refuse.
won't. I don't even care. I don't even care. Because what destroyed my skateboarding was that I found peace with God, and I already got the girl.
Yep.
And I'm good. I'm good where I'm at.
Yep.
And what's ironic about that
Go ahead.
is you can't keep that kind of thing from coming through.
Yeah.
And I just have fun with it. And every now and then something looks like, oh, that reminds a person of good skateboarding. But it's just not like that. When you're in a world that's got Jimmy Wilkins in it.
Yeah. Right.
No, I skateboard because it's fun. And what's ironic about it is I don't sit on my phone watching Jimmy Wilkins skateboard.
No.
I enjoy it a lot when it comes up, but
Right.
I really like watching at Grampy.
Yes. At Skate with Grampy.
At Skate with Grampy, which is a great name because it's
Right.
an invitation to everyone.
Yes.
But my hope for all of these folks, including Jimmy,
Yeah.
is that they wouldn't be seeking affirmation from other people
Yeah.
or needing it, because the trolls will come.
Yeah.
They still tell kids to kill themselves. They still tell you to quit.
Dude.
And it's not going to change.
Yep.
And it doesn't change you. You got to be about what you're about and not worry about
Yeah.
all of that. And that's a problem because a lot of kids right now, they were young when the lockdowns and everything happened, and they really
Right.
burrowed in
Yeah, they really
to
have it
that
down.
social media economy of thinking.
I heard a
very
crazy
damaging.
statistic the other day. Like 20% of adult men between the ages of like 16 and 25 aren't working right now. Like, and it was after the lockdowns happened or something. That's probably not the right statistic, but it was a big number. And
It
I was
is
like,
big.
oh, holy moly,
It is
dude!
big.
Wow, people just literally just walked off the reality sphere. They
Yeah.
just dipped. So gnarly.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. I was listening to Mike Rowe.
Yes. Oh, that was the guy talking
Yeah,
about that.
Mike Rowe. I forget who he was talking to, but Mike's got the stats, and I don't, so I can't really speak to it.
Right.
But what I'm grateful that my son has started a roofing company that's killing it
Right.
at doing great service for people at great prices, and that I get to be a project manager on roofs twice a week, even in the winter. Not every week.
Yeah.
This winter. I had a roof last week.
Yes.
I have a roof this week, and I get to go on site and speak Spanish. And I get to make sure that the crew has what they need, and that's super satisfying to me. That they won't lose even 1 hour because I'm there. You know, I'm learning what they need. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So, if the order comes in and they didn't put the pipe boot in there, I run out and grab the pipe boot before they need the pipe boot. Boom, job is on track. And afterward, I run a cleanup, load up ladders that we rented or that we provided. Well, I don't know why roofing crews show up without ladders. That's right. It is fine because we are on it. Yeah. I'm on it.
Right.
I love that crap.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love driving a company vehicle out to a company job and working for a great roofing company. But come late February, I'll be on 4 jobs a week, 5 jobs a week.
It's awesome.
And I'm looking forward to it. Eric Sanders on the live feed has brought up Jade Ryan.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Jade is Australian. And she's outside the box.
Nice.
She's different. And I wonder if she pushes Mongo.
I hope she does.
And she does a lot of like off the board, on the board type of stuff.
Oh yeah, like dancing on the longboard type deals.
No, not dancing on the longboard, but like bonelesses and foot plants and acid drops. She does a lot of off the board, up on something, jump off the thing, back on the board.
Yeah.
And she's been incorporating complicated shove-its and things like that in there. And she's always had it. I know that Jade's been at it for like 10 years in public.
That's awesome.
Probably less, but I think it's like 8 or 10 years she's been doing it. And she boneless through the box. Yeah, she boneless right through it and outside the box.
I love it.
Yeah, and she pioneered not only girls skating in a time when that wasn't really a huge deal.
Yeah.
But she's been a pioneer in girls skating, and she's been a pioneer in outside the box skating. She's a person that Mike V, who's also an outside the box skater, who's done really well mainstream.
Yeah.
Mostly through tenacity.
Tenacity.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
He has a tenacious professional career.
Yes.
Yeah, and thanks for the coffee, Luke.
Yeah, bruv.
We got a whole pot of coffee up here.
It's so sick.
Yeah. Yeah, the upper sanctum is a good spot.
It's a nice scenario up here.
And like right now, we want to take a moment to thank those of you who've listened. 41 minutes into the CapmLew podcast, and if you're still listening to us, boy, do we appreciate it. It's an amazing thing. We'd love it if you consider possibly supporting us by going on to podbean.com and onto the CapmLew podcast and throwing some bones our way.
Yeah, come on now.
We don't know how it's going to work out. We figure it will, and like that. We're doing all the things. Well, we're doing up to 60% of the things that we should be doing.
We might be at 70%.
Dude, that's ill.
I think we're actually.
I mean that in the way the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, right.
We have a license for that.
Yes, it's more meaningful that way. I find. Yeah, I think we're actually doing it.
So we're creating channels and ways for folks to help us because it's probably going to take us a couple years, but we'd like to wind up taking it on the road and doing some more interviews and stuff like that. I know we could get another person in here with a little bit of camera chicanery.
Maybe like that. Yeah, go ahead.
I wouldn't mind having some guests up here. We'd love to have Andy Schrock come in. He's a local Cincinnati legend. We'd like to ask him about how do you navigate putting your kid in your videos.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
with the assumption that is working out.
Yeah,
that was like episode
22 or 23.
Yeah,
you'll find it
back there, and we'd love to do that. But we right now want to have guests on the CapmLew podcast.
Yeah,
we would like that. I think we might need to start inviting people.
No, I think we absolutely should.
I noticed that the Joe Rogan show invites people to be on the show.
Yeah, people don't ask. That's on us.
You see how little I understand?
No, it's fine.
This is fun.
Yeah.
So people won't ask us to be on here.
No, they feel like that's uncouth.
Yeah, that might be. I've had people ask to be on the show.
Oh.
I have. I've had a couple of people ask to be on the show. Hopefully it's back up. Facebook, let us know if you're back up. We care. It does dip out now and then.
It's on mine.
Good. Oh, Luke's got it up. That's great.
Because I like liking comments and crap.
Yeah, I like that you do that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Actually good. You're like Jamie.
Dude, Jamie.
You're like Jamie on the Joe Rogan show.
Dude, that guy's so cool.
he's definitely works.
Yeah, that guy gets after it.
So the thing I was thinking was that I've had a few people ask to be on the show, but one of the things about it is we're hardballers, man.
Yeah,
we do
well, ask
not
good questions.
softball our
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
So, you know, I imagine that I don't like people saying no.
Well,
You know, I'm not
yeah.
coming on your crappy podcast. That would hurt.
Stop.
I'm not even having that much fun right now.
You know I have a thyroid issue. I told
Yeah.
you that in confidence.
But like, but I like that. Like, we've publicly asked if Andy Schrock wants to come on.
That'd be sick. Maybe he'll be the first one to use the email.
Honestly, I'd rather have lunch.
Yeah, that'd be
Andy.
cool. Yeah.
I'd rather just have lunch with Andy.
Yeah, we're not mean people. It'd be
I
sick
have
to just
sent
connect.
messages to Revive before. The one reason I feel bold to put this out is because I've sent messages to Revive.
Yeah.
In my previous YouTubing, I sent a message to Revive that said, hey, you guys need to know I'm about to discuss some things around you guys. I'm very small. There's no reason you would think I'm of any account, but I want you to know if you'd like to contact me and talk about it. But instead, I got banned from all these skate parks by the Revive riders that were at the front desk. They banned me, and I was menaced with the possibility of being trespassed.
Yes.
And it hurt.
Yeah, that sucked.
It hurt.
I think that was the first Facebook Live you ever did. I recall it. I was with you. Yeah, I
That's
remember.
right.
Yeah, I was with you.
I had reached out to Revive. This might be, this is foggy memory,
Yeah,
so
it's
take
hearsay.
it with a grain of. But I had reached out to Revive and I had said, man, I want to discuss some things because we've already mentioned you a couple of times, but I want to start talking about Revive in a way that could be incisive and most likely will. Cutting
Yeah.
in, that's incisive, incision, right?
Yes, I like it.
And before I say something incisive, I'd love to have just even like a, hey, what's up? Oh, Bill Danforth would love doing this.
That would be sick.
Bill would be great.
Yes.
But the problem with getting Bill on is we need to go down to Florida
In Florida, I know.
to
dude.
do it. And
I know.
so until we're pulling in the ducats,
Yes.
we're not going to be able to do that with Bill. We're
Yeah.
not going to do the person in the corner or the divided
Yeah,
screen.
no.
We don't have the ability for that to come through with adequate audio. I think. I just don't want to do that.
It would be really hard. Yeah.
We can talk about things well enough sitting here.
Yes.
I don't think we need to stretch the technical limits. And there's some people in Arizona that I really like to do.
That
Yeah.
guy would be sick to have on. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually talking about Mike Villalobos.
Oh.
Yeah, so
that would
we've
be
got
sick,
more
too. I
people
think-
in Arizona than
I
that.
think he's on right now. He is.
Mike has been trying to call me. I live in a home life that is so Grand Central Station
Dude.
that it's really hard for me to take a phone call or make a phone call. And now in this day and age, that's actually kind of insulting to people. And I would like to express to you that I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. Is that a good apology?
Some people, a narcissist that you would be speaking to would say that's a bad apology because you didn't actually take any responsibility for what you did.
I take full responsibility for the fact that I'm hard to get a phone conversation.
See, that's sick. Yeah.
It is on purpose, and I have reasons.
Yes.
They may not qualify as excuses because I may not be doing anything wrong.
Well, that's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. Yeah.
I mean, back in the day when we were fixing fences on the farm, the phone was in the house.
Yeah, come on, man.
And I didn't have to stop fixing the fences at any point during the whole day.
Yeah.
We could be stretching metal all day long.
Right.
And if I was cleaning stalls in the barn, the phone was in the house.
Yes.
And then you began to hear it ring and you'd run in.
Yeah.
And then they had a cordless phone that could reach almost out to the barn.
Jeez.
And you are pretty terrible with phone calls, not going to lie.
True.
The other problem is this. I don't want to be on a phone conversation if I'm not in the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that that I handle, because now we've done podcasting,
Yeah.
you guys know that I have a life that includes some heavy stuff with people.
Yeah.
And I'm part of my life, a huge part of my life is invested in helping people in ways that are like really, man. So if I take a phone call and my head isn't right,
Yeah.
if I feel like I'm on the edge of like, whew, I shouldn't be on the phone.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be just talking to other people. Or if I'm driving,
Yeah.
no. And I'm a little old school that way. But
you're driving.
I remember 1982 when work got done without interruption.
Yes.
I do. And that doesn't mean I don't like you guys. And it doesn't mean I don't want to talk to you. But it definitely means... Now, written format, I like writing.
Yeah.
And then when I write something, I tend to write what I really mean and say. My brain does that. I understand that that's not, everybody doesn't feel that way about it. Like they have a hard time writing what they mean.
Yeah.
Someone will write something to me and I'll write them a freaking book back and they're
right.
like, that's not what I meant. Here's what and I get shut down.
Right.
I'm hard on people that way.
And then it turns out that is what they meant. They just didn't mean it like that.
Well, that's one of the problems with writing. One of the problems with writing is you can't say, I didn't say that.
No, because it's right there.
It's right there.
It's
and
right
I
there.
think that to some extent for some people, one reason that they don't use email to communicate these things, comments get buried in the waves of comments.
Yes.
Also, how many times have people gone and just pulled every single thing
so many times
out of a comment thread after causing complete wreckage?
I've seen that many times.
I have a whole old laptop full of screen grabs because I knew that it would be gone, and I want to use ideas for books and I want to do books on ethics and business and things like that out of just the sheer volumes of insane unethical merde that I dealt with.
Yeah,
that's French. Putain.
He speaks French.
Seriously, I do speak French.
I would much prefer, if I could, I would write.
If I spoke French at all times.
If I spoke, I wish that you would, because then I'd have to.
What would you prefer?
I would prefer to have to write everything all the time, because I find that I can more clearly communicate what I want to communicate in written form, and I don't have to think of the word, mid-sentence, midstream.
I think some people sometimes end up saying something that they really mean, but they feel very ashamed or afraid of.
Yeah.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
I think that writing is really good practice.
Yeah.
I have a huge...
It's Chonder.
I have a shelf. Those are spiral journals, but up there, that's all full journals that span years of my life, and it's garbage.
No, mine are too, dude.
It's
I know
garbage. It is. When I die,
I can't wait to
my
go through
kids
those.
are going to go through those, and they're going to be like, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah,
he's a kind of a jerk, and he's judgmental as
Oh my
hell.
gosh, dude.
But it helps me sort things out.
Yeah.
And I get it. I'm embarrassed of some of the things I write. I've got notes. I've written probably 200 pages since October. I'm just trying to figure out what I even think about things.
Yeah.
And it's good for us to do that. It's not very skateboardery.
Oh, dude.
Nope. But it turns out what makes skateboarding so special is you're taking a break from the rigors of being a human being, adult, dealing with, or being a kid and dealing with the responsibilities and all the struggles and troubles of those things. What makes skateboarding stinky is when you aren't dealing with the rigors of being an adult. You've decided you're a skateboarder, and that excuses you from dealing with the responsibilities of being an adult or being a kid and having to deal with doing what your mom and dad want you to do.
Right.
Vast majority of parents want things from you that are honorable.
Yeah.
They want you to do your schoolwork so that you, and I know school is chock full of nuts bullshit.
Oh
I
gosh.
do.
Yeah.
I do. But it's also where you go to learn how to learn from incompetent people. That is a skill that is so valuable, because when you go out into the wide world, you will be working as a subordinate for incompetent people.
Yeah.
And if you are successful, you will discover that you are now the incompetent person, because this competency that you thought existed, it didn't.
It pretty much doesn't.
We are all just trying to figure it out. Now, incompetency aka needing other people's help because you're not enough and it takes a team to get a thing done,
Yeah.
Is compounded by pride, arrogance, unwillingness to be objective in self-evaluation. Those are all rare. You know, it's all rare enough to find a person who would be objective in self-evaluation. Dude, for real. So it's a mess out there. Kids, take out the trash. Do what your parents say.
Right.
They at least love you.
Yes.
Do that for them. Do your schoolwork. Your teachers don't love you. And the ones that act like they do, watch out for them. That's right. And I don't just mean in the most sinister ways. I mean, they're not your family, bro.
Yeah.
And then do your schoolwork and just get it done. You don't even have to get it right.
Just get it done.
Don't worry about getting it right. Just get it done. Learn to grind.
Yes.
And if you as a kid can learn to grind and you can honor your mom and dad and you can learn to just jive with that, then that's going to be good lessons for when your boss, you know, you had one job.
Yes.
You know, you had one job.
Right.
Can't even put a staple in right, you know. And you might actually get smart. I don't know how good your school might be.
Well,
you could get smart.
I was thinking about, have you ever seen that meme? It's like talking about, so there's the trajectory of excellence goes something like this. You begin learning about something and you go up this kind of this, you know, ascending line of knowledge, and you hit this point where you think that you've mastered it.
Mm-hmm.
Then as you think that you've mastered it, you actually begin to do the work, and you actually descend down into this pit where you're realizing, oh shit, I don't know anything at all.
So this is your own sense of ability.
Yeah, your own capability, indeed, like to actually
you get shut down.
Well, you get shut down by the fact that you actually don't know as much as you thought.
That happened to me at the bike shop.
Yeah.
I came into the bike shop. I had already replaced compensators.
Yes.
I'd already replaced clutches multiple times.
Right.
I'd already been all over the primary side.
Yeah.
I'd already seconded and done top end jobs. I had already done so much. I came into the bike shop and the head mechanic, he said to me after I'd been there for like a week, he's like, I don't even know why you're here. You don't seem very good at this. And it was because I was in a state of being overwhelmed. What happens after that?
So you come up to this point where you think, and then you begin to realize that you don't know anything at all, and you go way down lower than you first started, and all the questions, and then you begin a very slow, much more gradual trajectory up, and by the time you reach the top of the other side, you're like 50, and then you're actually excellent at something. You got a mileage.
It's so interesting because at the bike shop, it was a good enough bike shop that I could actually get overwhelmed by learning.
Yeah.
And Brad at the bike shop gave me a chance to really, he was very nurturing.
Yeah.
He was really nurturing, and I learned how to learn from him, and he was extremely generous, and by the time I left, I was ripping into stuff.
Yeah.
With more competence than I had before.
Right.
And I do wish that I still was a mechanic. I couldn't afford to keep going. And my son started his own company. It was obvious math, but it was with sadness that I had to leave that behind. Because I do like working on Harleys. I especially like the Harleys.
Oh, bro.
I did work on imports and was really shook because I was always like, oh, I'm going to be open-minded about this. Yeah. Nope. I like the Harleys way better, like the whole deal.
Yes.
I like them a lot better. They're built with a much better history of design.
Yes.
Yeah, because they started as military vehicles.
Yeah, they had to be able to come apart and go back together.
They had to be able to be fixed in the field, and that tradition of durability and repairability continued.
Yeah.
Through the shovelhead era into the Evo.
Yes.
And then with twin cams, they added 18 fancy points, or they eradicated 18 points of articulation from the twin cam.
Okay.
And wound up kind of making things that was a less well designed, less well put together design. I love the twin cams because you can do things that make up for that really well and get the quality of the Evo era with the power of the twin cam era.
Yes, right.
And that's plenty of power for me. A 5-speed twin cam is plenty for me.
Yeah.
And then you get up to, and the twin cam goes into 6 speeds too. And now we're at oil-cooled, water-cooled, and we're getting into overhead cams, so they're becoming Hondas.
Right. Yeah, literally.
Those bikes were designed to kind of look like Harleys, but they were designed for a certain aspect of durability, but really they are a monster to care for.
I mean,
to repair.
I can respect the design that went into the imports. I mean, because
Performance.
It is elegant,
but they don't have the torque.
No, and they're a nightmare to work on.
They are.
They are
a nightmare.
They really are a nightmare. But they are. The design is elegant. But it's not designed to.
And
be
it can be worked on.
Right.
There are great mechanics who do a great job repairing those, and they can be worked on quickly, and they can be worked on well. But it takes the right tooling, and it takes more tooling, and it takes more knowledge. And I'm just a scrub.
Yeah.
I'm a scrub.
Yeah. You can either tune one carburetor, or you can tune four in a row at the same time.
I actually never tuned the 4 barrels,
yes.
but I helped to tune the 4 barrels, and I get it. But we still had to have Bradley scurry over and help us finish. You know, our import tech, who was working imports for like 2 years,
right?
Was, you know, I watched and I'm like, okay, if this guy's in 2 years and he's still doing a great job, but still struggling to get these things to do. Whereas with the Harley, I mean, geez, it's just not hard to get a CV carb. Even a Mikuni, you can look up a chart and put the sizes in and settle for what you got.
Right.
It is more complicated with a Mikuni carb.
But a CV carb you can have completely apart in 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes and completely apart. And you can keep a kit in your bag that takes up like
$35 gasket kit.
Literally, dude. And the floats and all that jazz. It's so nice. It's
literally
awesome.
Take spark plugs and gasket kits with me on the road.
Right.
And I know that I can rebuild my carb.
Yes.
With a $6 can of carb cleaner.
Literally.
A parts cleaner, and get that thing done.
Right.
No problem. You know, if I needed to. One time I tore down my carb on a trip. Yeah. It wasn't the carb.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
A guy was telling me who was a super gnarly Harley chopper dude. He said that he replaced an entire piston on the side of the road. Like one of the heads blew, and he had somebody bring him the parts, and he just tore it all apart right on the side of the highway and just put it back together.
Not my favorite.
2 hours.
Yeah. Well, I had another guy on YouTube that I was watching, and what he would do if he broke down, he'd set up his camp by his bike, and he'd hoof it to town, somewhere near town. He'd find a place for his bike. Usually another biker would help you. You know, you could camp out with your bike somewhere on a piece of land, and you set up. You go online and you order your parts delivered to the post office.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Unbelievable that we have a system by which you could actually have parts delivered to the post office. If I had no dependents waiting for me at home.
Yeah.
If I had nothing hanging on me and I was just out in the wind and I was just going across the country and I figured out, I need to do something, I would find a place.
Yep.
And I'd have the parts mailed to the post office.
Just
I would go there and I would get the parts. I'd connect with some brothers or sisters over there and get my bike fixed.
Yeah.
That, you know, do my bike that way.
Yeah.
And that's why I stick with 5-speed twin cams.
Yeah.
Because I'm familiar with them. They're not a better motor. I am familiar with them, and I'm not an expert with them by any stretch, but pretty much anything primary side, and I can remove a transmission.
Yeah.
I can't rebuild a transmission, but I can remove a transmission and replace the gaskets and the bearings and all those things if I need to. I don't want to do that on the side of the road. I'm terrified just thinking about it. It's got me, you know.
Yeah, like
right in the tension band of my inside myself.
Yes,
but I'm still, you know.
Some things are better, man.
Even taking off a wheel on the Honda baggers and stuff like that, Suzuki baggers,
dude.
even the Kowalskis.
Even the Kowalskis.
Kawasaki's.
Yeah,
they're
it's
hard to take off. And
especially if they don't have a belt or a chain.
The shaft drive?
Shaft driven, like those things are wild.
Yeah, but on a Harley, you still need jacks and you still need stuff, so it's not ideal, man.
You could pick it up and put it on a log with a friend if you needed to.
Yeah, especially I have a bagger now.
Oof, to that one you're kind of...
I have a bagger, and one thing I'd love to get, but I don't know if I can really do it, is I I'd love to get a jack, a pancake jack that would lift the bike up
You can
on
put
the
your saddle
road.
bag.
Yeah, I would love, but they'd be heavy.
But you have a bagger. I mean, the thing is designed to carry 2 people.
It is, but the saddlebags are only for 15 pounds each.
What?
Yeah,
15 pounds?
They're not ammo cans.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, ammo cans would be better some ways.
Jeff Wiseman says, I'm going to piss some people off. I just missed my Kowalski ZRX 1200R.
Did he write Kowalski?
No.
Oh.
No.
Listen, I really am not pissed off by people who like import bikes.
Yeah, man. Run what you brung.
Yeah, run what you brung. I'll ride with you. I love Harleys. I love them. They're expensive, but they're valuable.
Yeah.
And I love fixing them. My lift took a crap. I'm going to fix my lifts one of these days here. It's just the ram in the lift took a crap. I got to replace the ram. No big deal. I want to get another lift as well.
Yeah.
And keep that game going.
Yes.
It's like Drunk with Power when you're fixing your own bike.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is, and it's so fun, and it's nice if you got a stable of bikes and you're fixing them. It's nice. But yeah, so it was a good day, and skate with Grampy, it was superb, and I loved every minute of our time together. Looking forward to some of the more. There's another group in Cincinnati called the Dad Squad.
The Dad Crew?
Dad Crew, Dad Squad, Dad.
The Old Guy Club?
It's not. It's a Dad Squad. You have to be a dad.
Really?
You can join.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Finally.
Actually, you know what? Now that you can join, I'll go back in.
That'll be fun.
Have enjoyed. I went on one push with them. They're pushers. Like they'll do these huge pushes all through downtown,
Oofta.
and then wind up. I loved it. It was fun. Except I had my Achilles injury was quite bad,
dude,
during it, and I had soft foot that thing, man.
That one's rough.
We got to this one parking lot with a bank that went up, and I could have I could have wall ridden that so beautifully, and but I was not gonna have that Achilles rip off, and then I wasn't gonna have that, so
dude.
I demurred.
I
just kept my peace.
Yes,
and did not do the wall ride that night. It was really fun.
That is sick, dude.
I bombed a thing or two,
that always makes me feel so much better. If I'm ever feeling real down on skateboarding, I'll take my dog out, and he has a harness so he can pull and doesn't choke him.
Yeah.
I'll get my big old 12-inch cruiser board, and we'll go around the block, and it helps me so much.
It is good.
I really like that a lot.
I have hip injuries, ankle injuries, and an Achilles that sometimes gets a little roasty toasty on me. Toasty. And so I have to watch out.
Yeah.
I have to watch out. I can overskate now that I'm turning 50.
Yeah.
I can overskate, and I can get those things fired up.
And we don't do it as much as we used to.
Well, I'm also like 35 pounds lighter.
Yep.
Than, when I'm lighter, I do a lot better. Also, because when I'm lighter, it means I'm eating a low carb diet.
Yeah.
We should do a whole podcast
about keto,
where I do not recommend.
Yeah, where you just say don't do this.
I do not recommend that
love it.
anyone do anything that I do unless you check it through and it's solid. I mean, you check it through with your doctor, check it through with your own Bible.
Yes,
check it through
do it,
in your own life. I'm not here to. One thing that is a strong recommendation from me, I do recommend, is that you get in your Bible and sort out your shit with God. I really mean that.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, if you and the Almighty get things worked out, crack your Bible and put in the time and think deeply and long about where you're at with life with the capital L.
Yeah.
And so that's a recommendation that I recommend. I recommend Jesus as the one who reconciles people with God and makes this thing just start clicking.
Yeah.
I really do. So that's that. But when it comes to I eat a low carb diet, I don't recommend that for you. It helps me.
Yeah.
my joint pain and everything goes down, and
Oh, yeah.
immediately my body sheds off like 35 pounds that I didn't even look like I was carrying.
Yes.
I got no 6-packs, and I still hang over my belt.
Really?
You know, maybe. I don't know. How am I doing?
No, dude, that's just skin, my guy.
Oh, that's cool.
Don't believe big.
I got a
belt.
beach body.
I got a beach body. You do for 50, bro.
A pink, white, hairy beach body.
Yes, dude. Yes.
I told Judy the other day, she's got a Planet Fitness
Fitness
burger in my mouth.
Fitness
She has a Planet Fitness membership, and she can take me for free.
What?
I can go with Judy to the gym, and I said to her, I'm finally getting there.
Okay.
Because it takes me like 2 years
You're so
to
interesting.
commit to something.
So interesting.
I think about it, pray about it, think about it, and just refine the idea and refine my expectations. And then when I do it, I'm in there.
Yes.
I said, babe, will you take me to the gym sometime this week? And when I go to the gym, I always do the same thing. I take really light weights.
Yeah.
And I just blow out with really light weights, high reps. I just blow out so that the muscles are getting the workout, not my tendons and ligaments.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
And I'll do like reps of 30. I'll do like 30, 30, 25, 15. And by then, I'm warm and blown out, you know?
Right.
And I'll do that I'll just do the machines.
Yes.
Like, okay, it's fine. Just the purple place. Just go through and do the machines.
Yeah.
And have my little terry cloth with, like microfiber,
Of course,
and I load it with that solution.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that doing something to us?
I don't know, dude.
And I just wipe everything off, and I just keep going. And the thing's loaded with so much solution that I can just keep going. I don't like going to the spray thing.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah.
And I also wear sunglasses when I'm in there.
Do you really?
Yeah, I don't want to look at anyone.
That's so funny, dude.
I don't want to.
Dude.
I'm not just bad with phone calls. I'm bad with even looking at people.
Human interaction.
And because I have this beard, I've got this ridiculous beard hanging from my face.
Yes.
And I just want to
I get it.
and I want to get it over with. And I'm there. It takes me about 40 minutes to go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I go out and
smoke a cigarette.
And
I'll go out. I'll have a cigarette.
It's happened.
Dude, I did one of them. I have done that. It's beautiful. I love it.
I told the story of the French Foreign Legion before.
Yeah, that one's so good.
It's an indelible memory.
It's indelible.
What were you gonna say?
I go really early in the morning, and there's one main reason.
But you go to Jimbo's.
I go to Jimbo's, dude. Okay, imagine this. Imagine
you go to a real gym.
Imagine it's 1992. And you decide to go to a gym, except the gym that you went to has all of their machines. They bought some new machines because they're trying to stay hip, but somebody's grandparents owned the gym before the person who currently has it, and they had equipment from like 1980, 1978.
Luke, I'm not there yet.
Go ahead.
I need to know how it smells.
Dude, it smells like literal armpit and cigarette smoke. Like, it's sick, dude. And everybody's in there.
Yes.
There's of all the people in there, maybe 10% of the people look ripped, but all the guys come in. It's a powerlifting gym, so guys are there to lift huge weight, and they're super serious about lifting.
Are those leather belts hanging on the wall?
They have 15 of them. I mean, they're super
leather
serious.
Belts
yeah, they really
hanging
are super
on the
serious.
wall.
And it's a sick. It's a cool gym.
And they got big bellies.
Yeah, but they lift
and
like 450 pounds. Like, they're literally insane. And you can tell, some guys are there. A lot of the guys just peaked in high school because it's the West Side. So everybody peaked in high school and they're there. But some guys, coming back from Afghanistan fighting demons with the black hoodie and the thing on with their headphones on all the time. And then some guys are there just trying to stay fit. But the thing that I like about it is twofold. The first thing I like is that people who are there are actually interested in fitness. Like, they're interested. They're not there to take TikTok videos. They're there to work on themselves, and they're pretty serious about fitness, which I think is cool. And the second thing I like is that I get there at 4:45 in the morning at the latest, and it's just me and a bunch of
monster.
Dude, it's just me and a bunch of old dudes, because I don't want to be there when the chicks are there and they're not wearing any clothes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I really like being married and...
In the words of Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I love my wife!
Yeah, literally. That's the way that I feel. I don't want to see that. I don't want any of that nonsense. So I just go, and there's there's this one old guy, and he looks just like Mel Gibson, dude. It might be Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson might have moved to Cincinnati. And he is so burly and so cool. I want to meet him one day. He's like my hero. He just gets in there and gets after it. It's sick, dude. So
That's dope.
but I like it, dude. I just started working out. I've probably been working out for a year, and the boon to my mental health is insane.
Yeah.
Bro.
See,
it really helps
I'd
me.
like to do that.
It really helps me.
I see myself as not a very strong person.
Yeah. Me neither.
And I'm I'm not big.
Yeah.
I weigh about 180, 170 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't know what I weigh. I might weigh 160 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Is it though? Because I'm
good.
not working out. I'm not running. The skating is good. Like I can low key skate.
Dude, that's the other thing. My left knee has been bothering me for like 5 years now. It's horrible.
Yep.
And I work out, and it still bothers me, but it bothers me less. So I really enjoy that.
Have you had an MRI?
Yeah, I've had one, and they were like, "There's nothing wrong here. There's a little bit of inflammation." I've been to the doctor like 4 times, and every single one of them were like, "There's no problem here." So I caught the knees over toes guy.
Yeah.
And so I do a lot. Every time I go work out, I do leg exercises. And I'm going to begin to do the patellar tendon exercise where you lean against a wall and lift your toes up.
Is that where it hurts?
No, dude. It hurts like inside of the knee. Like it's really hard to describe. It's like just general pain. And every time.
Is it sharp? Is it hot? Or is it ache?
It vacillates between sharp and ache. But it only happens when I skate. Anything else that I do, I'll run. I'll do a 5K and my knee doesn't hurt. But if I skate, as soon as I begin to skate, this is my leading foot, so I'm one leg, knee bent, all my weight on the knee, and for some reason that's the one that really gets it. So I do a lot of long lunges to try to strengthen all the muscles around my knee up.
Yeah, sounds a lot like a meniscus injury.
I really hope that it is not, dude.
No,
they didn't.
Your meniscus can heal.
Well, they said, dude, when I went at the height of it, I was like, I got to get this figured out. So I went, and they literally said, they'll sit you on the bed and they take your knee bent and they'll push you into it and they check it and they're like,
all your CLs.
Exactly. And
ACL, MCL, PCL.
PCL's the big one. That's what I think I have. I think I had a minor tear to my PCL because it began.
That heals too.
It heals. I think it did because they were like, it's fine. They did the MRI. Nothing is torn. It's good. So,
bro, what you need to do, and this goes out as medical advice to my listeners too.
Is start a keto diet.
What you need to do is when you eat wings,
go ahead.
Eat the cartilage off the ends of your wings.
Just eat it.
It's going to clear that right up.
Oh my gosh, dude. It probably
You need to eat cartilage, bro.
That's the dumb thing. It probably will, dude. It probably does, dude. Like, this is the mayhem we're in. Like, no,
Eric Sanders comments it could be your IT band acting up, that's huge on your quad. That IT band actually is an interesting one, and it's not just stretching it; it's strengthening it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
well,
good
here's
advice.
the other thing too, and we've talked about this. When I first started skating for the first year, especially, I was eating shit like you would not believe, and I have a permanent.
You're a candy man.
Dude, I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming yes.
No, in terms of you eat a lot of inflammatory materials as well as slamming on your IT band.
Not anymore, but I did at that point.
So you're talking you had a perpetual hipper.
No, literally, it's still there. It's permanent. It's like my elbow. It's like still...
So you have calcified hematoma
or whatever it is.
That's what happens is the blood from those injuries stays in the tissue.
Okay.
And your body walls it off.
And
then your body tries to incorporate it, and you'll get lipomas, and calcifications around those things.
Dude, it's so gnarly,
and
bro.
It's interesting because they'll go in there with ultrasound and they'll break them up so your body will take them out.
Yeah.
It's like those tattoo removal videos where they roast your tattoo, and then your bloodstream
just eats it up,
takes away a bunch of that stuff.
So cool, dude.
Dude, unbelievable.
But
a bunch of it flakes off too.
Yes. It is effective, especially as I'm moving towards 30. Stay strong, and not beefed up strong. That's not why I'm there.
I wouldn't mind.
Working out is just like skateboarding, dude. It's just like skateboarding. It's so doesn't matter.
I hate it.
So doesn't matter, bro.
Man, I can't stand okay. So I thought I'll go to the gym with Judy and I'll do my light weights, but I really would like to develop the habit of doing a backyard prison workout.
Yeah.
I really would like that. I really would like to just get back to when I was young. I used to do prison workouts.
Yep.
And I was a freaking compound bow. I was absolutely strung.
Yeah, sure.
I was always lean.
Yeah.
But I was strung.
Yeah.
And I really would like to get back to that. until I do, I'm just gonna stay lo-fi because I can't slam.
No.
I can't try things, man. Like I can't slam really hard. Last time I slammed, I did this elbow. I broke whatever.
Yeah.
It's not the olecranon process. It's just the tip of my elbow. I broke that thing, man. I broke it so hard that I couldn't do a push-up for a year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Was that at the bowl that will not be named?
Oh, it doesn't. It can be named. It was at the pit.
It was at the pit.
Yeah,
it was
went
at
to
the
the
pit.
pit. Yeah, you and I went to the pit in like
Remember.
February or
Yeah,
something.
it was so cold.
So we're coming up on a year from that.
Yeah, okay.
We're coming up on a year from that. So
Yeah.
like I can do push-ups. I did 30 push-ups the other day.
Chill, bro.
I did 3 sets of 10 to
Yes.
just see how it was doing, and it was doing good.
Good.
So I'm happy to start doing that again. But the other thing is like, I just start working out, and the testosterone runs up, and then I'm always getting handsy with the lady, and and that's fine, but I get aggressive, I get aggressive, and I have a lot of emotions I don't prefer to deal with. I probably am a bit of a head case in general.
You are. It's so
I
funny.
am.
It's
Get
funny
real feisty.
because when I first met you, I was really struggling with like fear of man. Like I was really afraid of what people thought about me. And
Yeah.
you were in such an intense time in your life, and I wanted to be around you because I liked hanging out with you, but it was so intense. And now it's funny because I've really seasoned out, and so now when you're like really in it, I just like literally just sit back and enjoy it. I just like warm.
What was it,
my
like
hands.
a week ago?
Yeah.
It was like I don't know if it was even a week ago. I was like, dude, I'm in the shit right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm struggling. I got people, suicidal people.
Yeah.
Going on, no hate to you if you've been suicidal or anything like that, but I care, man.
Yeah.
I care, and it really gets to me, and like,
Yeah.
and like, I'm like, we're chasing after all this stuff that doesn't matter,
Yes.
and
Right.
there's all this stuff, and everyone is jamming everyone up, and it's like, and everything you're trying to do, and it's like, boom,
Yep.
and the only option is to persevere.
Yes.
It's the only option in life, but it's so unattractive.
Oh my gosh. Yes, dude.
And it's like, and for some reason, everything everything I wind up doing down here, I'm 50 years old, and everything I wind up doing has this like it's not being done.
Yeah.
Where it's a new thing,
Right.
which sounds great,
Until you
And
get into it.
I'm not Gary Vaynerchuk,
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of guy who I try something and it doesn't work, and I try something else and finally something works.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who's like, oh, I'm gonna plant a delicate flower. This is going to be you stepped on it.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna just water it some more.
Yeah.
I've
my
been
broken
watering
elbow.
this broken flower.
Yeah, right.
And so but there's only one choice, man. Is just keep
Yeah.
going. You just keep doing it, and so
You know what helps with that?
what?
Raising that testosterone level, going to the gym.
It's truth.
Dude, I'm
It's
telling
just
you,
truth, man.
it is up because I'm in the midst of man angst. I'm in like a quarter life crisis right now,
Hell yeah.
and going to the gym
Yeah.
helps that tremendously. Even in the knowledge that the end goal of going to the gym is stupid and vanity, but it's just like it helps me because it's simple. The question is not like, what are you going to do with your life? The question is, can you or can you not lift this thing this many times?
It's just,
you know what I mean?
it's
Like,
just that simple.
literally.
Finally, something is simple.
Yes, literally. And if it's too heavy, then go down a weight.
That's I remember when I first started working out at Planet Fitness. Excuse me, got the hiccups. I started working out there, and I blew that tennis elbow,
Oh, bro, no.
and I could barely hold a wrench all day long.
You're like,
working,
oh.
and I was working at a motorcycle shop.
Yes.
That was, I mean, Lord love you.
Yeah.
That place was grungy,
Yep.
and it was winter.
Yeah.
It was December, January,
Yes.
February,
So cold.
2019.
Yes.
And the only heating in the place was a salamander heat blower that filled it with carbon monoxide, and I was sick.
Yeah, so you're
You
like
know?
lightheaded and sick
And
all
I
day.
it made me feel like I had the flu. It was
Oh.
carbon monoxide poisoning.
Don't do that.
And I got tennis elbow, and it was automobiles, and it was because in the wintertime
Yeah.
he'd fix anything. We were
Right.
scabbing on like 6 pieces of brake line we'd fix one leak and blow another and just
Yes.
scab on another piece of pot metal brake line.
Yes.
You know.
Right.
Oh, it was bad, man. It was bad. He was fixing brake lines for $50, you know, and I mean good too, because you got to have that guy, but doing bad work on bikes for really low prices, you know, so it's like it exists in the ecosystem, and overall it's a good thing, but it's so, oh my gosh, I remember doing work there and being like, okay, so today we're learning kind of how, like, maybe not to, I don't want to throw the guy under the bus, because he was like a great part of the community. You have to have the shade tree, hillbilly thing going on, and I love him. You know, like, he's, you know, I love him. I don't like saying people are good people. Everyone's people, you know.
Yeah, we're just people.
But I really, I have no ill will, and I don't even have like a robust critique to offer. And the shop isn't there anymore, so it's not like don't go there or anything like that. But it's just like, you're gonna take your bike to shops that are like that. I was there. I was the scroungy little worm that you would send under when something, because he was ginormous. He was 6'5" and weighed 300-something pounds.
He was essentially a Viking.
He was like a Viking,
literally,
and he could lift anything. But he had spinal stenosis,
bro.
And I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay today. I don't know him anymore. Oh, that's just one little stupid thing, and then it's like, well, just work on legs, right? So I was working on legs and flexibility, you know, and that was good, but man, it was hard. And I got COVID in, got it in January of 2019, January of 2019, I think it was, or February. I got it in February of 2019, and that was interesting because I was on a job. I was on a job, and it was only just starting to be a thing in the news. And I was on a job drilling. We were attaching posts to concrete. And to say I was dragging ass is not even close to what I was experiencing.
Just brutal.
Like every move I made, like someone described it like this to me. They're like, my organs hurt, my bones hurt, my skin hurt, my hair hurt. Like, and I did this job, and my buddy on the job, my boss and my buddy on the job, is immune to all things.
Somehow.
Completely.
Dude.
Nothing can live inside of him because of the nicotine and caffeine.
Literally.
And
what a
he
unit.
He is.
He's a unit.
He's another guy I worked for, and I got to where I was like, we finished the job, and I got in the car and I just slept all the way home from Columbus, Ohio, 2 hours. I just was like sitting up in the thing and I was just asleep.
Dude.
Then he delivered me to my house. He's like, yeah, you caught that thing. He's like, I fought that off for like 20 minutes. You
of course.
had it. You know.
I fought that thing to death.
And because the Viking I was working for, he caught it. He sneezed and coughed all over everything.
Of course,
I didn't care either.
It's fine.
I always catch everything. It's fine.
Me too, dude.
I usually get the flu, and that was heavy, dude. I had that, and I was like, I remember I was like, well, I really like to vape, but I'm addicted to nicotine, so I'm gonna vape my way through this.
Dude,
and it made my lungs really moist.
You were offering that as like a solution to the cough.
That's because they did a French study. The French did a study, and nobody was allowed to talk about it. It hit the waves, and then it was gone. And I'm not going to mention it, but there was a study out of France that turns out it was true. It came back around this year. It came back around. It's a terrible idea. So I sat on the porch and vaped and recovered very slowly from that. And that was great. I loved it because then I had natural immunity. And I was like, I was like, this is sick, you know. And then the vaccine came around,
Yes.
And I was already happy that I was naturally had gone through it.
Yeah, and
Because I knew about A and B cell and immunity versus just even immunoglobulin
Right.
content, which is your antibody presence.
right.
That even if you don't have an IG, you've got A and B cell, B and T cell, and
Right.
you've got cells in your bone marrow that will be like, nah, we know about this, it's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see, let's page through the Rolodex.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had something like this back in 1984. We could use that. Oh, the 90s had one even closer. Look at that. Yeah, let's go fuck them up. You know, like
That's probably
you know.
the way your body operates.
It is the way. It is the way your
cool.
body operates.
It's like a miracle.
Dude.
It's
yeah,
cool, dude.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
you know,
literally.
and so I was really happy, and then the vaccine came out, and nobody was happy with anyone.
Yeah.
And then everything was everything, and
Yes.
nobody was anything anymore.
Yes, of course. It all changed.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
What a time, dude.
Oh my gosh.
The lost years.
I find it impossible to be angry with someone about things like that.
I know.
It's just impossible. I'm just not mad at you. I love you the way you are.
Yeah.
And I love the fact you got your own mind, your own conscience. Hey, we got to sign off. This was the CapmLew podcast.
True.
Our Podbean is running out of time, so we'd like to thank the people who give to us on Podbean.
Yep.
We'd like to thank those who listened through 90 minutes of this hoo-ha.
Jeez.
And for what it's worth, CapmLew.
Laters.
All right, so that signs us out of the Podbean aspect.
Potty
We're
bean.
so stoked to see that anyone is still on here. What does it say?
We're
It
at-
says 6 or 5 on yours too.
Yeah, what does yours say?
6. I don't know if it's real though,
It's
because
can't- dude.
this doesn't do that.
And when you're done, it says you have like 80 views, but there's only 6 people. I'm
Well, maybe
confused.
people just dip through.
But why doesn't it update?
Well, we're just glad it works at all.
Yeah.
We're
something
glad it works at all.
Yes.
Yeah, for our Facebook folks, and we're happy that this video one day will make it onto our YouTube as well as a historical tribute.
Document. Yes.
It'll be an episode number, and Luke's taking care of it.
It's fine.
I just stay frosty.
Stay
I
frosty.
just stay spicy and stay frosty,
Yes.
and I'm nursing a pulled muscle in my hip.
Dude, me too.
Bring it.
Bring
it's
it.
fine. I remember when I did it today at the skate park, I was like, you know what? Fine.
Whatever.
I'll just do whatever I can do, and I'm doing all sorts of I found out if I do this,
I'm watching it.
if I just roll this in like
Yeah.
that, and then I pull it in,
Yes.
it burns right on the bad spot, and it wants to cramp, and then I let
Yeah.
it go. That's it. I found it right there, pushing
Yes,
down
I
like
see
that.
it, yeah.
It's dope.
Oh my
You
gosh.
find a way.
Life finds a way.
When love doesn't find a way, and life can't find a way, hate.
Hate.
And draw from the dark side.
Yeah, try hate, brother.
Give hate a chance.
Give hate a chance, my dude.
You know we don't. You know we still haven't cleaned up the mice poop. We should start naming each turd.
Dude, yeah,
There's
like-
mouse poop
Dude.
on the table. We need to
Dude.
do I'm gonna put up photos of it.
Yes, dude. I told my wife about that, and she was so disgusted. It was hilarious.
It's 'cause we are
Yeah, when she was like,
disgusting,
"That
dude.
is so disgusting." Are you guys touching it?
No, we're not touching it. We just set our coffee mugs there. Is this out?
I don't know, dude. You're gonna have to give it
See
a
if
give
there's
it,
any in there.
give it a shoot.
Let's see. Any coffee left? We do have coffee left. Well, I just love taking an extra minute to sit with our Facebook folks. For those of you guys who do go on the podcast, Apple or whatever, if you could go on to Podbean and throw us some bones, we don't mind at all.
Yeah.
Or you could hit us up and Venmo us. It's all going into it. Once we have enough, we'll open a specific account for the podcast.
Yeah.
And then when we're rolling deep enough, we'll spend it all on making sure that we have all the accounting and everything. There's a lot of infrastructure that would take care of first.
Yeah.
And after that,
We'll get to the fun stuff.
it's going to be Hollywood.
Yeah, it'll be Hollywood, baby. We'll get CGI in here, like dinosaurs.
Seriously.
We'll get VR goggles.
Oh my gosh, no, we won't. We won't.
We'll do the podcast.
We'll
in
have
the meta world.
guests.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna
We're
do.
going to have someone come in here. We'll change our camera angle,
Yeah.
and we'll have someone come in here, and we'll talk to them about skateboarding and motorcycles and stuff like that. When the weather warms up, I'm going to have to do some on locations somehow. We're going to work out the insurance thing. We're going to figure out how to get you on my big Softail, and I'll ride the ridiculous ratter or the ridiculous bagger.
I'm gonna just start praying that somebody gives me a bike.
Gives.
That's a bold move, Cotton. I don't do that often.
don't
I'm
know.
usually a guy who likes to have my accounts short and
Would be
sweet and fair and
Listen, I'm just saying, someone's got a 2000 twin cam out there.
yeah, geez, dude.
for Luke.
Come on now.
Someone's got a early 2000s twin cam out there for Luke. We know the cranks were good up to 03.
That's fine.
Even up to 05.
That's fine.
And the cranks are what really get me. I want the crank to be good. If the crank isn't good, your oil pump is going to wear out.
Come on, man.
Your transmission is going to get wobbled. It's run out, people. It's wobble. You want as little wobble as possible.
What gets Lou going? Like, well, poor exegesis of the Old Testament and cranks.
Poor exegesis of the Old Testament and crank run out. Those are the two things that really drive me up a wall.
Yes.
Because with good crank run out on a properly pressed in crank, even the stock crank from the early 2000s, you can, if it's 3 1,000ths or under, people say 3 is too much. It's not.
It's fine.
If it's 3 1,000ths or under, we can put gear-driven cams on that bad boy. Get your valve timing just shoopa, tickety-tick. And once you tickety-tick,
yeah,
with that, then we can move over there and we can start playing with a few things. But I'm not wanting to put in $4,000 Baker Fat 5 transmissions.
No.
I wouldn't kick one out of bed for eating crackers. A Fat 5 transmission
that would be sick.
Dope.
Come on.
But I don't want to be like putting in 6 speeds and stuff. And I did notice that. Actually, Brad brought it up to me at the bike shop. That we work on a lot of Harley 6-speed transmissions.
Yeah.
And we don't almost ever have to work on a 5-speed. And God bless Jay Sloan with a bike.
Yeah.
I've been specifically praying for Jay Sloan and his lady to get a bagger right proper.
True.
And for us to have, I want to go out to I want to go do biker things.
I know.
I want to go to the hill climb in October, and I want to go out to Little Sturgis and just roll around, man. I want to roll around in the mud, and I want to eat greasy things.
Yes.
And be around people who know how to be wild and I mean, they're hedonist.
They are.
Yeah.
But
I'm more comfortable with honest sinners.
I know.
You know?
I know, dude. I know. It's so true.
I'm saying. Well, we have really enjoyed our time with all you guys. We love you for what it's worth.
For what it's worth.
From where we are, from what we can do.
Yeah.
And if we do anything, we want to encourage you.
Yeah.
You know, we think Jesus has got answers for you. You might not like them. We won't hate you for it.
And that's okay.
Yep. We love the scriptures, and we love talking about skateboarding. It's a great way to talk about other things.
Yep.
And we're not mad at you if you're mad at us. That's just fine. And I didn't mention this on the podcast. I was trying to get around the mountain on this, but
go ahead.
When they start trolling you on that social media, like, I don't know if it'll happen with us. I don't. But if we do get that ocean of hate coming in, you know what that equals? That equals interaction and clicks on your crap.
No, I mean, literally, yeah.
You could wind up getting checks in the mail,
I know.
which would translate into on location and guests and travel, and I mean, that's crazy, man.
It is.
That's absolutely crazy. We could wind up ransomed from our day jobs and doing skate media and spicy interviews.
Yeah.
I want to interview some Jenkem magazine reporters.
Yes, dude.
I do.
Yes.
That
would actually be really
I want to pin them
cool.
down and ask them questions about skate media and like, you know, what are the reasons why you guys can't go whole hog on certain things? You know, what are the industry pressures? You know, where the money comes from and keeps you from going on things. You know?
I do wonder if we might transition into some written offerings as well.
Dude, I can write all day.
That's what I'm saying. If
I can tell you guys what I think about things.
If we can ever transition into like a full-time gig, that would be the types of things that we could do, which would be really cool. This stuff takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to do. I've spent probably 6 hours on Saturday night figuring everything out and squaring things away. You know what I did?
What'd you do?
I figured out how to connect a shared folder through my Wi-Fi to my PC from my iPhone.
Okay, that's epic.
I connected a server. It was like a VPN.
Bro,
I did it, dude. And it didn't work, and then I did it. I did it. Thanks, buddy. I really did.
Seriously.
Because guess what? It's so stupid. You can't just connect a cord and have it transfer. No, you gotta go do it through iTunes. No, I don't, because I got a shared folder.
This is why. This is why the master sent him out 2 by 2.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah,
I'm saying.
Yeah, we're too dumb to do it alone.
I seriously, if Luke weren't working the back of house, you wouldn't even have this going on.
It's nice, dude.
Yeah, and
it's way better to do it together.
I seriously, I know the days of the written magazine are gone. But things come back.
Sure.
And I wouldn't mind being the editor-in-chief of a written magazine.
Yeah.
And just doing like what, God bless, what Jake Phelps could have done.
Oofta. Spicy, bro.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Because, you know, yeah, like if the 2000s, early 2000s and late 90s weren't spent trying to trick us all into dying on a couch of an overdose.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
Man, even just making skateboarding so hard with the come correct or don't come at all attitude that we had and the piss drunk attitude that we had.
Yeah.
Like, man, skateboarding could have been so much broader, so much earlier. I
Yeah.
love it now.
Yes.
I pull up my TikTok and I see this longboard dancing thing.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just like it, bro.
Bro.
I know.
That's sick.
I know.
Who thought that was for kooks?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who thought that was bad?
Bunch of kooks.
That's nuts. They weren't kooks. They were dried up elitist. Their mentality came straight from the football gridiron.
Dude, yeah. It's funny how that transitions, you know, like people get into this subculture and they feel a sense of ownership because they've spent so much time and effort into it, and then they feel like they need to protect it, and they protect it by shutting other people out. It's a tale as old as time.
A tale as old as time.
Dude, it's immediately Denzi is on here pulling the shit up.
Burns my skin, dude.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I know, dude.
That's just sad.
Did I turn this off or did it die? It's
What?
hard to tell.
Let me see. It probably died. The whole episode might have been ruined.
That would be so funny, dude.
I don't know. Let's save it and preview it right here on the thing.
With the Facebook
Let's
Live
play.
audience still here.
All right, welcome to the CapmLew podcast. For what it's worth,
The audio's terrible.
I know, I was just noticing that. Oh, that's because it was through that guy. And it transitioned once you turned it off.
Oh, did it?
Garen dang teed.
Is that real?
I bet it is, dude.
Well, that's for what it's. Well, we said
Yeah,
for what
for
it's
its
worth.
worth,
It might
yeah.
not be worth very much.
Right. You decide.
It makes me feel sad.
It's fine.
Now I don't know how to. Yeah, it's fine. We'll go back into the recordings later.
We're still on, Mike.
It's fine if we're hot mic'd. These guys don't have to stay here.
Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. Go live your life.
Go.
Go live your life. Are you still here?
Yeah, what are you doing?
That's ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
You don't have to go home, but you
I'm
can't stay
losing
here.
respect for all two of you. Thanks, guys, for being with us.
Laters.
Thanks. Peace.